Hi, I'm James Warren with Compass Real Estate, and today I have with me Andrea Moore from Welcome Home Loans, and her NMLS ID is 1990424. Welcome, Andrea, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. So we're in a situation now out there where we went from a heavy seller's market, and it looks like in a lot of areas, not all, because real estate is hyper local, that we're shifting to a buyer's market. And buyers have that power now to potentially, in some instances, ask seller for help towards closing costs and mortgage costs and things they haven't been able to ask for in the last 2 to 3 years. So we've kind of shifted that cycle. In return, we've watched interest rates greatly rise. We've seen, unfortunately, some buyers that haven't been able to get approved now, and they were approved 6 months ago because things have changed. So you're going to talk to us today about a little bit of a different strategy here.
So one strategy is the 2-1 temporary interest rate buy down, which means, we are seeing those high interest rates. Let's just say, for example, that, someone's interest rate today might be 7%. The 2-1 buy down will bring that rate down to 5% in your first year of the mortgage and 6% in the second year of the mortgage. So what happens is you're asking the seller to provide seller's concessions to pay for the buy down. And instead of asking the seller to lower the price of the house by $10,000, you're asking for seller's concessions instead. And those funds are put into an escrow account, and every month in those 2 years, funds are taken from that account to make up the difference in the payment between the 5 and the 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a great way to get someone in the home. It's forecasted that interest rates will probably go back down a little bit Q4 of 2003. So they're going to have, the refinance they're going to have the loan, they're going to get in the house, and rates are probably going to go down before this 2 years is up. So if you're refinancing or selling, the balance of that account will be applied towards your payoff. So those funds are yours. So if you refi to a lower rate,
and typical people, and I think the typical buyer, the statistics, they only stay in a typical home for about 3 years. So in that 3 years, people are like, no, this is my forever home, I'm not moving. Well, life happens.
Yeah.
Job transfers, family issues, health issues, it could all cost you to move. So it is a good way, I see this program, to get in. And you always have that look to refinance potentially later on. And that's not always a given. You still have to qualify for your refinance, but it's that possibility. And sometimes, if the rates jump and go down, you're looking at a big, if they went down 3%, that's really worth it. Sometimes 1% really is worth it to refinance.
And we have the technology to alert us when it is a prime time for someone to refinance. So It will alert us that your interest rate can be refinanced now. It would be worth it to you. And also we have flex terms. So instead of restarting a 30-year term, we can give you a 27-year term or 28-year term. Or worried about having to restart the whole thing all over again.
So now, do you see this program good for the first-time home buyer, or do you see this better for a more experienced, affluent buyer?
Either. I think it's a great way to get in the home. Like we've seen the phrase, date the interest rate, marry the house.
Right.
So, people are saying it's not a good time to buy a house. Yes, it is. If you use this program and get a lower interest rate, it's perfect. And then you refi, to a lower rate in less than 2 years, and it's perfect.
I personally don't see rents in the specific areas that I work, from that Tampa Bay down to Naples is where our team concentrates. We don't see rents going down anytime soon.
No.
We see them actually increasing. Now, here in St. Petersburg, we see a lot of luxury apartments going up. So, those are going to be filled, but you're talking 2,000 and up for a studio 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
You can get a nice house with a $2,000 a month mortgage payment. And,
yeah.
that gives you more flexibility if you're a single person, potentially get a roommate or, buy in with your friends, because it is actually cheaper. And I know in the past couple of years, I have had, 2 friends that rented separate apartments, and they were getting crunched out of rent. They worked in the service industry, and they needed to buy a place together, and they pulled their resources, and it really works for them. They actually got a 3-bedroom and a den. They actually, found another roommate. And they're actually realizing that, hey, we're making money here, and it's costing us a lot less. So, it's really, I think the big takeaway from this is there are options out there to buy a house, because we don't see, we are going to see some reduction in housing prices in certain areas. And we are seeing that some areas are just as hot as they were a year ago.
Yeah, and we're
What do
not
you?
going to see it, there's not going to be that bubble that burst, back in 2008, 2007. Yeah.
No, and it
Not
was
gonna-
totally different. For people that don't know us, Andrea and I have known each other for more years than we'll probably mention. Her dad was actually my boss when I was in the mortgage industry for some time, and I knew Andrea that worked with us, and her mom that worked with us. It was their family operation, and we were all at a big mortgage company, which will remain nameless. And that's how we all met, and we stayed friends over the years. And I kept Andrea, when are you going to lend in Florida? They're from my home state of Delaware. And I'm like, when are you going to lend in Delaware or lend in Florida? And finally, one day she did. And we just knew it would be a great partnership. And I think we look forward to helping a lot of individuals get into houses, because we have to think outside the box. And that's sort of what we've always done.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to, adjust and adapt to the current market. You have to be creative and think outside the box. And that's a main reason why my family and I wanted to be brokers, because we do have out of the box solutions for people. I hate saying no to people. We get people all the time who come from their local banks and say, well, they told me I couldn't do this. No, they couldn't do it. You qualify, they just don't have it available to you.
Correct.
It happens so much.
And that's one of those nasty words that we hear: banks have overlays. And we could do a whole video just on overlays. We probably should at some point. But the mortgage brokers are the way to go, because they have more availability. You have more programs out there. It's just like insurance. You go to a good insurance broker that can shop you out with multiple companies. And housing, that's another expense that we can help cut down is, if you go to a mortgage broker, or an insurance broker for your homeowner's insurance, they may have offered different companies, that are out there. Especially, it's really important now after Hurricane Ian, because a lot of insurance companies are deciding not to insure, or they're pulling out. But rest assured, we both have resources that we can get people homeowners insurance if they're ready to buy. So Andrea, I'll let everybody give your contact information. We'd love to hear from everybody. We'd love to work with them. And how do we contact you?
Sure. You can call or text me anytime at 302-228-3130. My email is andrea@welcomehomeloansllc.com. Website is welcomehomeloansllc.com. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Welcome Home Loans.
Awesome. And I am James Warren. If you didn't know that already, I just ask that you hit that subscribe button down here on YouTube so you can subscribe to our channel, and we'll give you some more interesting updates. Also on my channel, I have put on there lifestyle living. So it's a little bit more than just real estate and finance talk. We'll talk a little bit about decorating and setting a table and all those fun stuff during the holidays. And, we'll have some fun with it as well. And again, my name is James Warren. I'm with Compass, and my number is 239-595-0084. You can also find me at jameswarren.org, and I'm on the James Warren group at Instagram and Facebook as well. We certainly appreciate you being here today. Thanks again.